What's up, everyone? This is Jeremy from Tie Dye Tanks, and I'm here today with another one of my Tie Dye 101 videos for you. This one's going to be a little bit shorter than the other ones. I don't have as many visual aids as I've had in the other videos, but this one's going to be all about preparing your shirts for tying and dyeing. Whenever you do get your shirts initially, you want to get 100% cotton, hemp, linen, or rayon shirts. These shirts are going to be what you need for the dye that we've been discussing, the Procion MX cold water dyes. That's the only kind of materials that the dye will bond to. Now, when you get your shirts, you're going to want to pre-wash them, because some places you get shirts from, they could have like a stain guard or something like that on it, and it's just always good to pre-wash everything. So everything I'll pre-wash it on one cycle. I'll use a little bit of Dawn, a dish soap, like a drop or two maybe, and after everything's all washed up, I will start to soak my shirts. And that's something that you'll hear at the beginning. Soak, well, what do you mean by soak it in water? What do I soak it in? Well, what you soak it in is called soda ash. And soda ash is a chemical that you can get from several places. You can get it from a pool supply store. You can get it from some of the dye suppliers that I get dyes from. You can also buy something called Arm & Hammer Super Washing Soda, which you can find at pretty much any grocery store in the laundry detergent aisle, as it's usually used for a laundry booster. Now, when you do get your soda ash, you want to make sure that you got the right thing. Soda ash is sodium carbonate, as opposed to baking soda being sodium bicarbonate. So make sure you don't get the sodium bicarbonate, because it will not work. Now, when you get your soda ash, the right measurement, the one that everybody uses, which is the recommended, is 1 cup of dry soda ash powder to a gallon of water. Now, what I will do is I will get me a 5-gallon bucket. This is my trusty 5-gallon bucket. I probably need to hide the Ace Hardware there, but that's my trusty 5-gallon bucket there. I will go ahead and put 5 1-cup scoops of the powder into the bucket, and then I will fill it up about halfway, stir the heck out of it. You could even use like a hand blender if you have a hand blender or something like that, but I just use my muscles. And if you can, use hot water, because hot water will help it dissolve a little bit better. And then after I fill it up halfway, stir as much as I can, I fill it up the rest of the way and stir a little bit more, and I take it and I put it in my dye room after that. So I have it, or I'm sorry, not my dye room, but my laundry room after that, so I can have it right next to my washer for when I soak my shirts. And soaking your shirts is an easy process. I have a shirt here. I'm just going to demonstrate this. We obviously don't have any soda ash or water in here, but you would take your shirt and you would stick it into the bucket of water for about soda ash water for about 15 to 20 minutes on average. Some people swear by longer times, but anything I ever do is soak for 15 to 20 minutes. You just need to get it into the fabric to do its job, and it doesn't need that long to do its job. So after I let it sit in there for 15 to 20 minutes, I will take it out and I will hand wring it, of course, first. But after I hand wring it, I take it and I put it in the washer. Now, some washers have this function, some don't. So if your washer does not have a spin-only cycle, then this is not going to work for you. You're going to have to find some way to get that excess soda ash water out of there, and I'll explain why in just a minute. Now, after I would put it in the washer, I'd put it on spin only. it'll spin all that excess soda ash out of there. And why you want to get all the excess soda ash out is because I like to use this analogy for it. If you have a full cup of water and you have a dry towel and you have a soaking wet towel, and you take that dry towel and you put it in that cup of water, it's going to soak up all the water that's in that cup of water because it has all that space to soak up all the water. If you take a soaking wet rag and put it into the cup, the water is just going to spill over the sides because it cannot take any more water into the rag. So that's the same with shirts. If you're using a soaking wet shirt to dye and you start putting dye into that shirt, it's not going to soak into the shirt. It's going to actually travel around the shirt through the water as least resistance as it possibly can to get out of the situation it's in and into the bottom of whatever you're dyeing into, because it's already filled with water, so it cannot take in any more dye, and it just goes right to the shirt. I've had people who will have a soaking wet shirt and they'll dye it. Sometimes I do tie-dye parties, and they'll have a soaking wet shirt and they'll dye it and put a bunch of dye into it, and that'll be all over the tray, and it's a big slopping wet mess. And then they'll see me dyeing on like a video and say, why don't you have a big mess like we do? Well, it's because I spin my shirts out and it takes in as much dye as it possibly can, so you're not having all that excess dye on the tray or in your bag when you go to bag it up to batch it. And that's probably the worst, because when it's in the bag and you don't know about it, you pull it out of the bag, you slap dye all over the place. It soaks in areas you don't want it to soak in, so it makes black in areas you didn't want black in, and it's just a mess. So I always recommend everybody, after you soak in soda ash for 15 to 20 minutes, spin it out on spin only in your washer if you have that setting. Do not do it in the dryer, because it will cake the dryer in the film from the soda ash. It gives off like a powdery film, and it's hard to clean out of there after that. It'll get all over your clothes, and it may even damage your dryer. So spin only in the washer. If you don't have that, you can find some like salad spinners. People have used those before. You can use a wringer off of a mop. However you can get it to, get a little bit drier, that'll be best for you when you go to dye your shirts. Now, when I spin out my shirts in the washer, I only do maybe 6 or 7 of them at a time. You don't want to overload your washer. And it's I also want to add, it's always good to be safe when you're doing this, because when you are mixing this soda ash, the powder, once you start to add the water, the powder can come back up, and it's an irritant. It'll make you sneeze, and it might actually make you cough too. A couple things. It may have some kind of damaging effect over time. I don't know, but I know that it can make you sneeze. It's happened to me before, and I have very dry skin, and if it gets onto your skin and it's dry, it could also be pretty caustic, and it can actually burn your skin a little bit. So always wear gloves, always wear a mask. That's about all for this video today. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments, and I'll try to answer them as good as possible. If you like this video, give it a like. If you'd like to see more in our Tie-Dye 101 series, please subscribe. I'll be coming out with another video soon, and it'll be the first in the basic designs in the Tie-Dye 101 series. And show you how to do some spirals and scrunches and things that are pretty simple for the first time dyer. Like I said, this will be one of your best things whenever you dye. You get yourself a nice 5-gallon bucket. They're cheap. You can get them at Home Depot for pretty cheap, from what I hear. Alright, everybody. Have a great day. We'll see you next time. Peace.